Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to another SCOOBYPUP'S podcast. Today, we have a few special guests. We have another panel. But before we bring them on, let's just say hi to a few wonderful people, such as Cult Classic Cage. Special shout out. Hey, Cassie. Kaguana, thanks for coming in. Rio, nice to see ya. Zalosi. Everybody, say good hello to Zalosi, one of my mods. And Stark of Iron, of course, another mod of mine and also producer. So also a panel member as well tonight. So give him a great big round of applause as well. So let's bring them on. What do you say? So first off, we have Tombi.
Good evening.
Tell us who you are, what you do.
Who am I and what do I do? What don't I do these days? So technically I'm a variety streamer. I stream on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitter, Twitch, over on Locals as well. Any platform you can find me pretty much playing games, video games most evenings. But I do a couple of podcasts. I've got a Wednesday podcast that I host with a good 6 other friends, as well as a weekly podcast that both me and the wife do on the Thursdays and the Saturdays. And you'll also find me doing small creator spotlights on a Sunday, where I look at trying to help and assist other smaller streamers like myself in either understanding some of the technology, getting past some of the hurdles, or getting their voices heard, because that's one of the biggest things in terms of barrier to entry to streaming and content creating, is just having a network to talk to for that support. So yeah, thank you very much indeed for the invite. Been looking forward to this all week. Glad it's finally come. Saturday night. I've got a cup of tea. Looking forward to the conversation.
Likewise, I've seen you come to a few of my gameplay streams. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated.
You're more than welcome.
Next up, someone who also is a fellow streamer as well. He's been on a few of Toasty's streams and has his own show also. Please welcome JayViper.
You must be talking about me. That sounds like me. Hello. What's up? Thanks for having me, Scooby Pup.
No problem. Tell us what you do and who you are.
I like to talk shit on the internet and make videos, and sometimes I talk shit while making videos. And I also have a podcast I do on Thursdays called The Viper Bite. That's the name right there. So that's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's pretty much what I do. And then I, of course, go on other podcasts like this, Toasty, etc. It's good times. I'm just hanging out.
And finally, probably one of the most energetic people you could ever meet next to Nerd Wars.
Hey! All right, we're doing the logistics. Oh, wait, we're on the air. Don't be talking about backstage production stuff. Gotcha. Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Doing good. Tony, tell us who you are, what you do.
Well, no, we'll be here all night if that's the case. I guess in summary, we'll probably start with the classic. I sing songs. I have a few drinks. I have a series of voices that live rent-free in my head, and they often fight for the microphone. And I am Iron Man, and that's about the gist of it. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to start off with a few of the quick subjects first before we go into the meat and potatoes of the show. To add into our crazy start of the year, some of it actually was announced from last year, and things are just now starting to get crazy because they're being released this year. And as you can see from the picture, I think you're pretty much going to be able to guess what's coming up.
I'm sorry, what? I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Everyone's looking forward to Snow White, right? That's going to be a banger.
Snow White, Daredevil, Spider-Man.
He's Snow White. I'm sorry.
Can't
keep a straight face. Can't keep a straight face over.
How excited! How excited!
Who's trying to keep from laughing? I heard somebody trying to keep from laughing.
You're choking on something. I couldn't tell. Lilo and Stitch looks pretty decent. That might actually be pretty good though.
Yes, that
It has
one
a
I
shot.
looked at. I think it does have a shot with the exception of like 2 cast members.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Lilo and Stitch has got the most legs out of everything.
Mhm.
Now,
Well-
obviously, most of us are probably watching Daredevil as we speak. If you're still watching it or you've turned off already. Not many people are supposedly watching it, but I don't buy the numbers at all that Disney.
Oh yeah,
are
what are
putting
they
out.
saying for the numbers? I heard. What are they saying?
Disney suggested that Daredevil is doing worse than Agatha all along.
And
Suggest-
worse than that Star
Acolyte.
Wars one too, right?
That acolyte,
Acolyte.
that acolyte
Acolyte.
schlock, yeah.
They said it's
I don't
doing
believe
worse than Acolyte, Agatha. It does kind of make me wonder though. She-Hulk levels of badness.
Well, we'll be covering this a little bit later, but from some of the points of that conversation that we'll have over in the StarCast, what I will say is it's a mediocrity. It's a case study of mediocrity. What they get right, they get right. What they get wrong, they get wrong. And it feels like Daredevil. It's not Daredevil. It feels
Correct.
like Daredevil. It is a caricature of Daredevil. It takes you for a ride for like the first 16 minutes of episode 1, and then they do this little number. They go, okay, done jingling the keys. Let's just
Yep.
kill off this guy and oh, we need a Sex in the City dating subplot because that's important, I guess. But like at the end of the day, no, it's just it's boring. It's boring.
It's very, very hollow. Now, obviously we'll probably get into it, but if it looks like Netflix's Daredevil with a cheap suit over the top. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's a facade. It's smoke and mirrors. Now,
And
Vincent
Disney hailed it as it's going to be a cool suit. It's going to be really cool. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
They did a Trump thing. It's like cool suit, coolest suit, best suit you're ever going to see.
Oh, nice suit. And then we're bringing back Foggy. And Karen. Oh, no. They're all back.
Yeah.
Now let's fucking kill them.
Yeah, but the thing is with this, Charlie Cox is acting, Vincent D'Onofrio is acting. I can't really fault it. They're working with what they've got.
Yeah.
But there's so many problems in this. There's like Tony says, there's quite a lot they're getting right. But unfortunately, they're also getting so much wrong, and that's what's turning everybody off.
And then
obviously we don't want to get too much into it before.
And then of course there's the Spider-Man thing. It's just everything about it is wrong.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Everything about it is just wrong. It should be wiped out of existence. It shouldn't even be around.
The fake Spider-Man, the whole thing.
Yep.
And
I said I want the real pictures of Spider-Man. Damn it! Damn it!
It's a shame because I was looking forward to it, but it's like anything that Disney accumulates, inherits.
When I heard the type of artwork they were going for, I was intrigued. But then when I saw the cast that they were doing and where they were going with it, I was like, nope, you killed it. You killed it for me. And then you have Snow White with Rachel Bidgie.
Weird.
Weird.
Did you see the thing where they tried to put?
It's Hollywood, baby.
Did you see the thing where they tried to put like where she was dressed up all nice and there's these kids? There's like they got like 6 kids to be there, and they had her go out hugging them, and they're trying to use this like to try to make people like her.
Yeah.
Did you see? It was ridiculous. You could tell she just could not. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hug them and say nice things," and leave after like a minute and a half. Like that,
They're
they got these
trying
kids
really
out in the
hard.
freezing cold. Yeah, it was such a weird thing, and these little kids are probably friends of the studio, like just sent out there to go hug.
Those
White.
and those dwarfs, they're the stuff
yeah.
of nightmares. I
So,
mean, really.
yeah, that whole
The
thing.
coloring is so dark. I've seen the commercials and the trailers and stuff like that. The coloring for the movie, the tones are so dark. I mean, you would think that they would go with a brighter color palette at least. The music sucks.
Mhm.
Yep.
And those dwarves, they're God, it's like it's like watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space again. I'm sorry, but that mentally scars me.
I kind of wish they had kept in the original cast of the dwarves than whatever they did. Because remember, they had it cast. There was people.
Yeah, there were.
I mean, if you could, call those weirdos people.
But it was something. It would have been better. Even though it was ridiculous, it would have been better than this monstrosity that they came out with.
Yeah.
I just can't wait until we see the scene where Snow White's addressing the dwarves and going, "Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make."
The line is, "But that is a risk I'm willing to take."
Yes.
Well, I do apologize. I seem to be a little short on my take.
Today, but I have to say today, from what I've seen, I think Lilo and Stitch looks a bit more promising.
It has a shot at being good. I think it might be good.
The CGI for that one, it's going to be minimal, but it also looks good.
Yep.
Because you don't require any more CGI than what we've seen already for Stitch, and he looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, they did a good job with him. So you said there was 2 castings you didn't like?
Yeah, there's 2 men. I don't remember their names, but they're going to take the place of. Okay, so sorry for anybody in the chat who hasn't seen the animated movie. I have. I absolutely.
They've had years to watch. Years.
Yeah.
There's no spoilers here.
You gotta watch it. It is such an adorable movie. It is so cool though at the same time. There's these 2 aliens that go chasing after Stitch. And at one point in time in the movie, they disguise themselves. One is a husband, one is a wife. Well, this time they just disguise themselves as 2 men in Hawaiian shirts. And it's those 2 guys that I don't like, because it's like, oh, if you want to be true to the movie like you said you want to do, then why aren't you dressing one up as a man and one up as a woman?
I'm guessing one of them is Zach Galifianakis or whatever his fucking name is. Excuse my language.
I have no
Zach
idea.
Galifianakis?
Yeah, that's the badger.
That's the one.
Zach, gastric intestinal bloating.
Gastric intestinal bypass.
Yeah, the animation is probably my favorite, especially because Tia Carrere is in it.
Yeah.
And she's one of my favorite. And also the little girl.
So you're a fan of the little one? Because I feel like she's not a good actress already. I feel bad for
But no,
saying that.
the little girl in the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
The little girl in the cartoon, I really, really liked, because the cartoon, she was so expressive. Like she would get in fights with that little ginger-haired twit, like full-on fights, like throw her across the room, tackle her, pull her hair. I mean, I loved seeing those fights, and I know in the live-action version you're not going to see that.
Do you know the one thing that I would really like is there to be some original thought or some original content rather than just rehashing and live-actioning everything that's come before that did well.
Yes.
I'm tired of it.
I think that goes for every studio, not just Disney. Warner
Correct.
Brothers, all of them. I think they all need to come up with something new.
Yeah. Disney is so guilty of it across all of their IPs.
Yes,
Absolutely everything.
Disney is probably the most guilty of it of all the parties, right next to Warner Brothers.
I'm actually still trying to figure out which of the Disney live action films have actually been successful, because I don't think any have.
Only one. Actually, no, wait. 2 have. 2 of them have. One was Cinderella. That one was.
Did that do well? I don't remember.
Yes, that did well. The other one was the first Maleficent.
That I believe.
Yeah. The first Maleficent actually did well. And that one I actually did kind of like because it took a different perspective.
but it's a trope that's commonly passed. The misunderstood tragic villain is
I know, but the way they did it
so
though
overplayed.
it's overplayed, but the way they did it was good. They did it in a very good way.
I feel like they don't need to keep doing the live action remakes. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, like renewing the IP in a way, but do you think that they would want to do it in a way where people would like the movies? Like, I don't understand why they're half-assing it. Like Aladdin, that was horrible.
Oh,
Why? Like, why did you cast Will Smith as the genie? He's not funny.
I
Like,
know.
it's
They
hard
could've-
to. You didn't even have to do that at all. I mean, especially just take the Robin Williams lines and put it in the movie. You don't even need a person. Just animate the genie.
Yeah,
Animate
just
the genie.
keep him. They didn't even need a human. They could have just kept him as an animated genie because, I mean, if you look in the books and everything, they are just mystical smoke creatures. I mean, hell, some of them don't even look the way they
I would have rather seen the genie from the Chaotic Good Barbarian series on YouTube. I'm gonna grant your wishes, you little shit.
How did Mulan do the live action? Did that do well?
No.
It was bad.
No,
It was bad.
Mulan is just oof.
I never
Oh,
watched that one.
Everyone instantly started dumping on it because of the Uyghur Muslims.
Okay.
I don't
was
care
right.
what anybody
stain on it.
says. I don't care what anybody says. I liked Alice in Wonderland, and you cannot talk me out of it.
Oh, you know it was good though.
Makes a valid point here. Live action Beauty and the Beast had a budget of $200 million, made $1.26 billion. That's a lot of
Yep.
cheddar.
So that did good. And how about Cruella? Because that one was pretty good.
Cruella
It
was okay. It was
It was
decent.
okay.
Yeah.
Could have done
But
better.
outside of those, I don't
Mhm.
know. Trying to think of any more.
I liked Alice in Wonderland because it was different. That and I had to go see it. I mean, it's got the Cheshire Cat in it, and Cheshire Cat's my favorite storybook character.
Cruella had a budget supposedly of 100 million and brought in 233 million.
Did okay.
Okay, so that's not necessarily the green, but it's not the red
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
But the question, I mean, it's always the question with Disney: how much did they actually spend on it? How much? Because they like fudging the numbers after all.
They do.
Yep, they do.
They hide all of the marketing costs. They dump as much as they can do to write off.
And then you
And
have companies though that are like Pixar and DreamWorks. I mean, Pixar, I believe they did Inside Out 2, which turned out to do really well.
It was great, yeah.
That was a very good one. And then, of course, you have DreamWorks that keeps on pumping out good stuff. Universal Studios. I mean, at least they're trying, especially in the theme parks.
Mhm.
Universal Studios is especially kicking ass in the theme park area.
Oh, that place is amazing. That place is crazy great. Like teenagers and up. I mean, that is the place. You don't even want to go to Disney.
I've been to Universal Studios lots of times. There was this, it's because of Universal Studios that I have a fear of sharks.
No.
That's why
Not a
I
big
was
fan
afraid of sharks.
huh?
Yep, I rode the thing and like the jaws came up and everything goes like this. I was like, I'm like a little kid.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was riding along the tram. My dad was sitting on one side, and I was sitting at the area where the shark was going to come out.
Oh,
And
man.
I was sitting right in this one seat where it ditches down, where it goes down the most.
Oh, great. So you're looking at the shark right there in your face. Yeah,
The
back
thing
then they
falls-
weren't afraid to scare kids, man.
I know
They
the
were
thing
not.
does its the thing falls, does its thing. Shark comes out. I'm face to face with a giant mouth. I am freaking out. My dad is laughing at me.
It's
And
coming
he's ready
to
when
get
he knew it was
ya.
coming. He's got like the video camera. He's just waiting.
I get up the ride, and I'm like,
I've just put in private chat all of the Disney live imaginings where you can see their
Oh, okay.
opening as well as their lifetime gross. And Lion King, apparently, the live action only came in at 543 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the lion, spelled
Yep.
L-Y-I-N.
I still think the
game.
animated Lion King was better,
Oh, 100%.
Sure.
100%.
That's right.
especially with I think the Stampede in the Lion King actually took them a couple years to make,
Yeah.
and
It,
that
it
was
was
back
render
when
time.
yeah,
Hey,
and
Uncle Scar, how much did the live action movie make? I despise guessing games.
but yeah, it's like that was back in the days when they actually drew
Yep.
the cartoons, and probably the last live action movie that I saw from Disney that I absolutely adored was probably The Three Musketeers. That had a great cast.
hmm
I can't. Why don't I remember this one?
It is back from the night. It had Charlie Sheen, Oliver Platt. It was just overall great movie. You gotta watch it, Jay.
One of the most
Might-
important Disney films in terms of animation and the move towards CG was the original Beauty and the Beast. Because
Beauty
it
and the
had the
Beast was very
ballroom
good.
scene.
hmm
The ballroom scene was completely computer generated 3D scene, and it was the first time they used it in a film.
Three
And
Musketeers on Disney Plus. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's there. It's a great movie. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Plenty of humor, especially for the
There's
adults.
there's a place for CG, and I like to use Jurassic Park as an example.
Mm.
It is a hybridization. It's supposed to be like, sprinkles on the donut. The donut itself has to already be good to eat. But you add some sprinkles on the donut, that's CG's place. Like, just how they did the T-Rex in the rain. You
Mhm.
can tell it is still a prop. They just doctored it up a little bit and made it seamless. The scene in Beauty and the Beast, just using that panoramic view that's still within the animation style of the film, that's a sprinkle on the donut. That's accentuating, something that's already good.
It's that
Mhm.
less is more, isn't it?
Yeah, less is definitely more, and they've lost that.
Yep.
Prophetic Apathetic says Disney tried to toy Camp the Black Hole and rewrote it, and it's still a very dark movie. Maybe the last time they tried to push the envelope. Yeah, Black Hole's great though.
Yeah.
I love donuts too.
I'm
not
just
allowed
hungry.
any,
Why'd you have to
I'm
do
on
the
a bloody
donut
diet.
analogy?
Yeah.
I
Now
just
I
want to
want
eat a
donuts.
donut.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marge. That's what
Now
you
I
get, you
want
live to move.
donuts.
Smithers, why are we talking about donuts? Because Homer Simpson somehow got in the backstage, sir. Fire him! Oh, yeah. Did I mention I
Okay.
have a lot of voices living in my head?
Yeah.
Now to the meaty half.
We got the vegetables out of the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, but the gamers have spoken. Shut it down. I love this picture. Hi, I'm here on behalf of Ubisoft.
Do you know what's even funnier? And it's only because my OCD brain picks up on this thing. It's his third hand that's holding the controller.
See, okay, something was off, and I'm like, what is wrong? There's something wrong. Okay, that's what it was. I'm like looking and looking.
It's either that or he's getting a reach
I
around.
wanted to see how long it would take.
Yeah.
Okay. He's also got
Nice to see you
Listen,
picked up
4
on it.
fingers going on. I like that.
Listen, man. Guado, he wanted to play some video games. He wanted to open his mind on the PlayStation.
So it's been a crazy year so far, especially if you're a gamer. We've had studio shutdowns, tons of layoffs, game cancellations, game announcements for games that looked like they would suck, but then turned out and surprised us all. And, need I say more? I mean, Jay, start us off.
With layoffs, like so Crytek with their
No,
layoffs.
I mean, give an example of what you think is a game that could surprise us all. Aside, I mean, like we were talking about this behind the scene with Split Fiction.
Mm-hmm. So
I think-
what's funny is I had Split Fiction pegged as it was going to be great, and I had brought it up before, and people were like, "That's gay." I'm like, "It's going to be good, man." Like, because that is a company that I believe in. Like, I know that Joseph Ferris makes good games. He always does. So that was one I was looking forward to. Outside of that, I mean, GTA 6 has a chance to be really good if it can get out of its own way.
I'm scared. I am scared.
I'm
for
scared,
GTA
but it has a
I,
shot.
I'm really. I don't play GTA 6. I'm more of the Saints Row person, but I've never played GT. Never played GTA.
Any of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
And,
So
but I gotta say, I am a little worried for GTA 6. Now, will it make money? Yes, because you
Oh, it's
got
gonna make money.
crazy GTA fans.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
it's gonna make money.
and that much
It's
is
going to make
obvious.
money hand over fist.
Oh,
Always
big
will.
time.
Yeah.
Always will.
You got crazy GTA fans. I mean,
Yep.
the constant remakes of GTA 5 and how many people have bought it over and over and over is just proof of that.
Just the role playing aspect of GTA 5 online, there is such a massive community that they're doing their damnedest to keep everything as live as possible up until GTA 6 comes about. As soon as GTA 6 comes, GTA 5 is dead in the water. If they provide the same level of customization as GTA 5, which probably not going to happen immediately, there's going to be a bit of time before all of that becomes apparent. But if there's a workable role-playing world available to them in GTA 6, it will make a bucket ton of cash.
Now, what gets me worried for it is they used a consultant agency.
Which is always a concern.
Yes, which is
Which
always a
one?
concern. And on top of that, from what I understand, Black Girl Gamers helped.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And
You know, as soon as you
also-
hear it, your butthole starts puckering.
it is
And-
puckering.
and on
It
top
is.
of that, the way they're trying to squeeze you for the price, they're
Yeah.
asking an insane amount of money for this game.
We don't know.
Thinking-
That is something that people are asking for. For some reason, this is like there's people asking for it to be $100, but
Mhm.
that is not official from 2 cent or at all or two. It's not official from Rockstar at all.
Yeah, it's not official, but
that's
it's like
just-
it's.
I
But
do
if they
feel like
keep
that's a
pushing for that-
more of a manufactured byline. I don't know where
There's-
that's actually coming from.
There's actually a number of studios and promoters
That's the word.
that are all wanting that game to hit $100 because then it
Mhm.
becomes the justification. It's setting the precedent for all games to go that way.
Yeah,
But
Right.
again, we've got to take a step back from all of this.
yeah.
What are you actually getting for your money? Are you getting
Right.
$100 worth of quality, gameplay, enjoyment, or is it going to be just another one of those very expensive? You're paying it because you want to just simply play the game, but you're not actually satisfied from paying that amount for it. Is it more comfortable to be a $50 game? Let's go back to when games used to be even cheaper than that.
Well,
lot
remember
of-
when games were cheaper on PC than on console? That's
Correct.
a day of past.
Yeah.
You almost forget it happened.
And the funnier thing is that most of the times these games are being sold digitally.
hmm
You're not even getting physical media anymore. There's
And
no
even if you buy
cartridges,
it,
no
It's not on
discs.
the disc anyway.
Yep. It's not on the disc. The only thing you're seeing on a disc is basically a setup installer that just pulls everything down from the internet. And then you get day one patch, which changes everything that you're expecting to see
Mhm.
because Game Journos made a complaint or something.
Mm.
And we've seen that happen far too many times.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And,
$100 is. I do think that's more of a manufactured like talking point.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see if they do go up to 80 or something like that with it. We'll see. But $100, I think, is far out of range. I don't think that's happening. They're not going to make that $30 jump, but they just moved everything to $70.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's happening.
It becomes
Like,
too
I've seen-
unpalatable.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Steve.
like the most of the games that are about to come out that I've seen, that are interesting to me, run around 70 to 75 right now.
That It could not be better said, File 13. Give him a round of applause. I want a disc if I'm paying $100.
Yeah, for me,
You want a
I'm a
sleeve as
select-
well.
discs are always the best way for me to go. If you have a PlayStation, okay, people who have a PlayStation 5, if you bought a PlayStation 5 digital version, you are an idiot.
Correct.
You are the biggest idiot. If you wanted to get a PS5, you should have gotten a PS5 with the disc drive. That is what I have. I have the PS5 with the disc drive. Because the thing is, I always get a digital copy. I always get a physical copy. If I ever get a digital game, I always make sure to get the physical copy as well, because you never know when something's going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And
I mean, look at Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is the perfect example of this.
Yes.
On the disc, if you didn't connect your console to the internet and pull down the Day 01 patch, you get the unaltered skins.
Mhm.
And you can play quite happily with the original wording on the walls with the hard R.
Hard R, baby.
The hard R. As well as
The
all
hard
of the
R.
skins, which were a little bit more appealing to those gooners. But Day
Yeah.
0 patch.
And then,
Gotta be able to sell that hard R.
You know, I'm looking forward to that whole thing. When speaking of like a disc, like the PS5 version of Assassin's Creed Shadows, I
Yeah.
want someone to plug it in and don't update that thing, because I want to see what the state of that game is when that thing went gold. We never heard an announcement, but we know that they're on disc. Is it from October? It could be
I
from
think
way
it's
back in
October.
October. What's on that
Yeah.
disc? I want
I-
to see what kind of mess it is. I think it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct. I think they were from an October pressing. They were sent out and shipped out, ready to go, and they've pushed it back because of the negative publicity surrounding the game. Now, I'm going to pick up the game. I'm going to get I'm going to get the disc, and I'm going to make sure that the console isn't connected.
Oh, good,
And
yeah.
I want to look at it because I want to see how much of an absolute fuck up it is.
That's going to be really interesting, man. That's going to be super interesting to see the state of that game without an update.
Now, 24 hours before that, I'm going to be playing the Yasuke Simulator.
Oh,
because
yes.
mate,
That is-
Can't wait for you to unlock the car.
I'm still
That
waiting to
is
see how much it is. You think it's
one-
going to be like $5? I think
it's going to be
like
cheap as chips. And
Yeah.
that game is going to have, no doubt, more players on that day
That would
than
be
the whole
so
of
funny,
Assassin's
dude.
Creed Shadows. It's going to be fantastic.
now to a quick little promo thing here. Cult Classic Cage, under her channel Goonerfist, she said if she gets up to 500 subscribers, she will buy and stream Yasuke Simulator.
That's right, folks. Get her there.
How far is Cassie away in terms of membership?
I have no idea. I think she's like 300 something, maybe more.
I've
Okay.
already subbed. I can't do anything about it. But I highly suggest everyone here go do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go do that right meow. Uno
It's,
momento.
it's one of my missions that I do. That's my Sunday stream, is all about getting people
No, where
jumping on
is
people's
it?
channels.
We gotta scroll
So
up. a bit.
if I can share some of the pain, no, Yasuke Simulator is going to be amazing. Let's face it, it's going to be fantastic. It's Shadows that's going to be the painful one. But if we can get her up to 500 for that, amazing.
Thank you, Zalosi, for putting in the link.
Oh, perfect.
I was
Thank
just
you.
about to do that. Slick.
Yeah, it's got magical O's in it, and I was like, oh, magical O's. There we go.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
those German O's.
Yeah.
I can't do those. But
There are, however, a lot of good games coming out this year.
yeah,
Uh,
like how should I put it? Okay, so out of the failed games so far, we've had Veilguard, which
mhm.
couldn't even be people wouldn't even play it even though it was free, and that was on PlayStation, which is
Yeah,
pretty
you
sad.
That
literally
game's so
couldn't give that
expensive.
away.
Yeah.
You
Um,
can't polish a turd. And
But
that's essentially what it is.
TMNT was also on PlayStation Plus, which is super good.
Yeah.
Highly
And
suggest that.
I picked that up. I did pick that up. I
Yeah.
saw Veilguard. I was like, oh hell no. And
Yeah.
Tell you
It's
what
not
game
worth
I'm
the disc
looking
drive
forward
space.
to. I'll tell you what game I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that Terminator 2 Contra clone.
The 2D.
Yes.
I reckon I can trump that with a couple of suggestions.
Okay.
Doom Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
And I started playing Death Stranding the other day, and my good God, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's a walking simulator. Don't get me wrong, it is a walking simulator. But in terms of atmospheric story and everything, I am being thoroughly entertained. Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Okay.
That's coming.
Can't wait to get back into some of that Elden Lord jank.
I am so looking forward to Lost Soul Aside.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that game for several years, ever since it premiered on YouTube as just a little test demo that the guy was doing to show off the Unreal Engine. A lot of people don't know this. For some of you who do, great job. The Lost Soul Aside creator, of course, it's just one guy because he decided to take the Unreal 5 engine, test it out, see what it was like. And he combined his two favorite games, the character design of Final Fantasy and the gameplay of Devil May Cry. And so he created that on a whim, did his own thing, put the gameplay up on YouTube. Tons and tons and tons of attention. It garnered tons of attention, got lots of likes. It got so much attention that Sony got a hold of them and said, hey, we liked what you did. We'll give you the money. You make the game exclusive for us.
Yep.
And they said, okay. Now, it was going to be originally originally it was going to be exclusive to PS5 and PS5 only, as well as the PS4 at first. But then the next but since it was taking so long, they made it strictly to the PS5.
Okay.
And then they turned it into a timed exclusive. But also, Sony even offered to give enough money to make his own studio. So he's also making another game as well.
You're just throwing money at him, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, the second you put the effort in and it gets that kind of a wide reception, these companies know when they can smell money being made, and they will throw
absolutely
everything at him. They'll throw everything at him.
Yeah, and people for a while though, it took like about 8 years or so to get it made, anyways. But people for a while though thought it was in development hell and was going to get canceled. And the creator had to go to Facebook and Twitter and say, hey, listen up. The game is not canceled.
Yep.
And it's not stuck in development hell. I want to take my time with the game and deliver a finished, good game and not rush it out and give you a bad game that is unfinished. And I was like, that is what game creators need to do. They need to take their time.
And that kind of attitude is 100% what we want to see from every bloody studio, every dev. You want to be releasing something that is bob on perfect, is exactly what the players are expecting, the gaming player base expects. We don't want to be bug fixing. We don't want to be beta testers. That time has come and gone. You're not Blizzard, Activision. Stop pushing broken stuff on everybody. Take the time. I would sooner someone delay a game a year, 2 years to get it right than to deliver something that's going to have nothing but problems. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. Delivered absolutely a phenomenal game. Broken day one.
Yeah, that's what happened with KOTOR. The reason it's being so long with KOTOR is Aspire had it first, and then Embracer saw what Aspire was doing. They said, we don't like what you're doing with the remake. We're giving it to someone else. So they gave it to Saber Interactive.
Probably a good move too.
Oh yeah, especially since now Saber Interactive owns the IP. So when Embracer broke off from them, Saber Interactive now has the game. They own the IP. They can do whatever they want, and they're known for good
Space
stuff.
Marine 2, didn't they?
Yep.
Yes.
They
Oh,
just
the
announced
announcement.
3.
Yeah, they announced 3, and let me tell you something. I really need to get a better machine so I can play Dark Tide and 2. Like I'm still stuck,
Dark
playing.
Tide is a resource hog, though. That thing's not well
Yeah.
optimized for PC. That is
Yeah.
really a pain in the ass to run.
Yeah,
And it sucks too because it's good, but it's like a GPU killer. That
I
game is
believe it.
a mess. And it's so good too. But man, like I was playing that with a friend, and every time we played it, he was like, "Oh my god, dude, my computer's gonna catch on fire." I'm like, "Mine too." Like this sucks, man. I have a good computer, so does he, but it's just like,
You're gonna need like one of those computers that have like a fluid casing and just to keep it cool.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That game's such a pain in the ass, man. But it's
But I
so
tell
good.
you,
It is really good.
I tell you though, Bolt Gun. Now that's fun. If you
Bolt Gun's a good game.
Bolt Gun's amazing.
Takes
I
some time.
play UT99 when I'm
Mhm.
bored. I play Quake 3. I just load up bots and go to town. So when Bolt Gun dropped, I run
Yeah.
GZ Dooms. I do want to like do like a gaming series where I go through like my house and like all of the great wads from GZ Doom.
Yeah.
And like but like I'm telling you, man, when I popped in Bolt Gun, I was like, my heart. It was so good. It was so
back
good.
home.
It was glorious. It was glorious. I hope they add other classes. I love Stern Guard, but I'm much more of a Vanguard Marine if I were playing a role. I got to have my Devastator weapons. I need to default that heavy bolter and stand there and cut crap.
Yeah. And for me, another game I was looking forward to wasn't heavily advertised, but when I get bored, when I'm on the PlayStation, when I get bored, I go through the store and just, see what's just, peruse, see what's in there.
Mhm.
And then I discovered, there's another Bleach game coming out.
Bleach.
And I love Bleach games. And this one is Rebirth of Souls. It comes out the 20th of March. So it's going to be my little birthday present to myself. So I look forward to that. And I mean, like the moment I'm hoping that I can finish the Scarlet Nexus stream in time. Because one, I hate the character that I have to do right now. And because it's a 2-part story. And so I just started the second part, and I really hate the character that I have to use. And once I get finished with that, I'm going to start on Bleach Rebirth of Souls, because I really want to get into that. And maybe sometime during the day, I will finish off the High on Life stream.
Oh, man. I want to go through High on Life as Rick and Morty.
Yeah. With the full voice.
It is. You don't need to do it as Rick and Morty. I mean, each of those guns has.
Oh, jeez. What I'm saying is as I'm commenting on the game, yeah, we can totally Rick and Morty it up, baby. Yeah, it'll be great.
It has so many aspects from the show already. You don't need to.
Now I'm talking about as I'm playing, I would be commenting as Rick and Morty, like a character playthrough.
Well, you could always just buy the game and do it yourself.
I mean, you certainly can. Shinobi's coming out towards the tail end of the year as well.
Mm-hmm.
The next Shinobi.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for Sega to release all of the games that it said it was remaking, like Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, from the Mega Drive era.
Yeah, that would be sick, dude. I love that game.
Mate.
When I was a kid, I love that game so much, man.
Just Golden Axe. I can remember now just spending so much time playing it nonstop. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
I think, a game that was not exactly like that, but had the same vibe was like Castle Crashers. Had the same vibe, like how you went through it. It was, and you could jump on little creatures too and ride them around. But Golden Axe, I mean, no replacement for that. But that's a game that reminded me of it, and it was so good. I mean, Castle Crashers was great.
Dude, Final 13's giving me flashbacks. I can't remember the name of this user, but he used to YouTube often. He was a pilot and an air traffic controller, and he would pop on Flight Simulator and actually like govern and have like the proper like speech communicating with aircraft and authorizing landings and takeoffs. And I can't remember his name, but man, that was good background radio.
I think I've
awesome.
seen that guy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Arma people that are really like strict with their communication when they're playing
Yeah.
Arma? That's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like watching a battle, and the way that they do everything so tactically and by the book. It's really cool. Same idea.
Yeah.
There's this policeman who will actually get on GTA 5, and he's got like proper police mods installed where he'll basically do police work and then use the proper codes and stuff.
Sheriff Eli was doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
See you later, File 13. You took care.
Have a good one, File 13. And yes, he will be hanging out with us at Stark Tower for the Starkcast here in less than an hour.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you guys got me for about 25, 30 more minutes. So you'll have to take over the wheel after I leave.
No
June,
problem.
June Awakening is another one I want to play. I'm heavy into my MMOs, and I know they're going to use a lot of basically the Conan Exiles. So it's Funcom, sadly, Funcom and their crappy login servers.
Now,
but
one
I
thing
am
about
excited for
sorry.
it. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, as far as games go, when it comes to gamers, we're not hard to please.
Correct.
Just give us what we ask for. We want good gameplay, good story.
Just
Not
don't
hard
preach
to
to us.
please, but easy to piss off.
Yeah, easy
Yeah.
to piss off, but
Mhm.
we're not hard to. We are not hard to please. Give us a good game, good gameplay. In some instances, depending on the game, good graphics.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a necessary thing. Like if it's a side scroller, you don't really need to worry about the graphics. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna rock in my chair now and hold my cane like Cranky Kong and wave it and go, 4 bits, 4 pixels. Best gameplay ever.
I mean, the thing is, most gamers just don't want to be preached to. And when you're playing a game that is supposedly immersive, don't put something in there that's going to break the immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what was the whole point in adding in Dragon Fail bloody zipper tits? I mean, it's a fantasy world.
Yeah.
That would never have been required in the first place.
Yeah.
If you want to play a female character, play a female character. You crack on.
Right.
Like,
It's that simple. You don't need that.
Tides of Annihilation.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
That's an
When is that
example
coming
of-
out? Do we know?
They don't know yet. It just comes out this year.
It is just sometime 2025. Yeah.
Yeah. But it looks bitchin', and that's a
yeah.
female lead. It
Yeah.
looks absolutely amazing, and it's got the gameplay that we like. The graphics look amazing. The story, I bet you anything, is going to be just as bitchin'.
Yeah.
But when you give shit games and you focus on more of the message or anything like that, you get closures.
You get Veilguard, bro.
You get Veilguard, and then your studios start to close. And then you get layoffs. Examples, Warner Brothers, Monolith Studios, Ubisoft, they closed 3 of their studios already. Dusseldorf, Reflections, Leamington, High-Res Studios had to do some layoffs. Toadman Interactive, I think they just flat out closed their doors.
I will be back momentarily.
Okay. Crytek, Midnight Society, Liquid Sword, Warner Brothers, San Diego. I mean, these are all studios that have either had to close their doors or do a lot of layoffs. And on top of that, we've had canceled games such as Wonder Woman. I mean, this is all stuff that we could have had that were really good, but the studios were either A, really lazy, or B, just really, really bad at what they've done, that they lost their people.
The Wonder Woman still, I want to know what really happened. I want someone to talk. I want to know, like, did, because of Outlaws and all these things, right? Did they just go and look at it and be like, we cannot do this again because it was like that? Because the people who were involved with that game are very woke with major, like, LGBTQ, like, pushing kinds of people. So I feel like, I think we had another Veilguard on our hands coming. They're talking about how important the story was. I think we know what that means when people are saying that. what they mean
Well,
by
they said
it.
that.
and-
Yeah,
Well, they
you
said
can
that
read
about
between the
split
lines on it.
fiction.
yeah.
Sorry,
Well, they said
Scooch,
that
go
about
ahead.
split fiction. Though. They said the story is important for split fiction, and it's so far it's pleased a lot of people.
But who said it? Right. That's the thing. So you get a she they saying about Wonder Woman, and the people involved that that chick who's also would Take This and all that, like on their board and shit. Like you can tell by looking at that person and listening to what they had to say that that's not good. There's a problem here. And when they're saying that's the person saying the story is important, you know what that means. Now with split fiction, who was saying it? Joseph Ferris. This dude's based. So when he's talking about it, he's talking about it because it's his daughters, right? Those are his daughters in the game, and it means
Yeah.
a lot to him. But yeah, I think it matters who's saying it when they say the story's important. Wonder Woman is going to be a woke mass disaster.
Yes,
I believe that. It's going to be bad. They were supposedly were so far along. Why not just release it unless you know you can't do that again?
Well,
See-
then again, I mean, like, well, look what happened with Concord, though. I mean, they were so far along. They probably, I have a feeling they knew that it was probably going to fail anyways, but they still wanted to put it out. But that just got flat out killed. But what's funny though is that in Solo Level, that show that's pretty damn popular.
Yep.
I think some of the characters from Concord are in there. I believe.
Okay. So you're talking about on Amazon? Is that it? Right?
It's either on Amazon or Crunchyroll. I've heard that. I've heard from some people that it's on Amazon as well.
Wait, extra level, something like that.
I think it's
Extra level?
levels. It's something
No,
level or something.
so you're probably thinking
Are we
solo
talking about two different
leveling.
things?
Yes, Solo
So
Level.
solo leveling's on Crunchyroll and a few others. But there are some of the voice actors from Concord that are in the cast for solo leveling.
Okay, is that what it is? Because I know on Amazon they had like the extra level or whatever the hell it's called, and they had a
That's super
Concord
level.
episode.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're confused. Okay, got it.
But
And,
solo
I mean,
leveling is superb. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, definitely superb.
but yeah, I mean, Concord was just fucked up from the start, and yet they still wanted to go through with it.
I mean, Concord was always destined to fail because
Yeah.
you're trying to squeeze a hero shooter in an already saturated market with characters that had no kind of like intrinsic interest. There was nothing drummed up to say
There-
why we should
there
play
was-
these things. And
There was
ultimately,
nothing that screamed visual.
no, I mean, it was
Visual
all horrible.
enticement or anything like that. They all looked ugly.
It was
as hell.
generic. Generica's best.
I feel like it
With
was
offensive
worse than
characters.
generic. Yeah.
Fat hero characters. No one wants to play fat hero characters. We want superheroes and whatever. I'm gonna have to let the cat out in a second. But I mean, a lot of these games will never be released and shuttered because they want to use them as tax write-offs. It's the most effective way of spending their money. It's like, right, we can't release this now. What we'll do, we'll use that as the tax write-off for the year and appease the shareholders
Yeah, and
because then
it's-
it looks good on the books. But it
and
doesn't.
of course, you have companies that try to do live service games but fail every time.
Mm.
I think the only live service game that I like and approve of, and I know a lot of people don't really like it, but I like and approve of, is Warframe. I think they know how to do live service right.
Well, it's built for it too, and it's free to play, is it not? You don't have to pay
Yes,
to get
it
in.
is. It is free to play, and you don't have to pay for anything except for cosmetics. And if you're extremely impatient, then the Warframes themselves. But luckily, you don't have to buy them either. You could just flat out earn them. And
Yeah, I
for
feel
the
like-
really special versions of them, they have this system where you can once again earn them just by running a few levels, and
Mm-hmm.
get them from rewards. And if you want, in the game, there's a silver currency that you can have that costs real in-game money. And if you want that silver, but you don't want to spend your money, well, then guess what? You can sell the
Yeah.
parts that you've gotten from the run that you did in order to get that special Warframe that you want. And they have a great system set up for it.
Yeah,
And
see,
you
if
don't
it's player friendly, I feel like that attracts and keeps people, and then people will spend money.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that is true. Like the
Yeah.
same thing with like Apex, right?
Yep.
Apex Legends keeps going because I feel like they built it right, and they fucked up a little while ago, and they
Mhm.
immediately rolled back that mistake.
They rolled it back.
Yep,
Yeah.
immediately they were like, okay, we went too far, because they always try to paint every move they make as like, oh, this is a benefit. But people were like, go F yourself for not paying twice a freaking season for a battle pass. So, they had to go back. But
I mean,
they kept up with the gunplay and updating the game, and the game is solid at the base of it, which
Yeah,
is what matters.
exactly. And
First
and that's what
Descendant.
that's
Yeah.
what Warframe does too. They keep
Yeah.
upgrading it and adding new characters and adding new stories.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay for any of that. You just have to play through the game in order to do it. And they have a lot of
Yes.
side quests that are optional as well. And you
That's
don't have
exactly
to
the same
farm
as
for
First
certain
Descendant.
things. And
Exactly the same model as First Descendant. Free
And
to
when
play
you go into-
game. There
Yeah.
are things you can pay for if you want to, but
Mhm.
ordinarily you just have to grind for them. It's just a time sink.
First
And,
Descendant, I feel though they aren't really keeping people playing though. If I recall, like they're having an
Correct.
issue keeping the player base up, and I
Yeah.
think that's really content. They just
It's
don't have
content. There is
enough.
content
Yeah.
drought.
I
Yeah.
have First Descendant, and I have to agree that it is extremely repetitive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it is the content, because what makes it extremely repetitive is if you get to a certain point that you can't really do anything else, and
Yeah.
also the grind for to get to a character, to get certain items so you can make your character, is just, the game is 100% grind.
It's just grind, right? I don't think it's
It's
a
just
friendly
grind
grind
time.
either, and that's a problem.
No,
Like,
it's
yeah,
not.
'cause looking at First Descendant, right? First Descendant,
It needs a defendant.
First
Yeah.
Defendant. Isn't that Smash? Oh wait, hold on a second. So it peaked at 264K. I mean, like that's crazy. But before this latest hot tub update that brought people back, because this is what they do to get people in the door versus
Correct.
actually fix the game. I mean, we're talking about like it was peaking at like 9,000 people. That's a
that's-
huge drop. That's not good. Right now,
Yeah.
it peaked with the hot tub update, 22K, and like yesterday, another 22K. So it's at least got people back in the door. What I don't know is, did the hot tub update also introduce things that mattered in the game to help keep people in the game versus jumping in to look at the hot tub?
I mean, content drought is the quickest way of killing any game experience anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, the
content
second you
drought
don't keep-
and freaking hackers are the way to destroy these games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or any form of economy in a game that could be beseeched by bots farming things and then exploding the market. They're the quickest way of destroying a game.
And another thing that I liked about Warframe is there's a multitude of characters that you can kind of choose from. I mean, you have 60 different Warframes to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
You can make 2 different characters if you want, and switch between them each time. So that way one person or other will pilot your Warframe at one point in time. And on top of that, when you go into your spaceship to do space warfare, you can actually do space warfare. You can actually get a crew. You can actually go out
Was
there,
that something
even in a
added?
jetpack. And you can even get that out there into space in a jetpack and just run around and shoot things and fly around and shoot things, invade airspaces. I mean, it is fun.
I did play Warframe for a while. The controls were hella crazy to get used to. I was like, shit. I finally was
They
like, I
made
can't.
it so much easier.
Is
They
it
made
better
it so
now?
much easier. Oh yeah, it seems like with every update they do reworks on things, and they add on to lore that will eventually they add on to lore that fucked up lore has been.
Yeah.
Or people are like, huh, what? Then they'll add on to that and be like, oh, okay, now this makes sense.
Okay.
So they've gotten a lot better with what they're doing. They've actually this is their 12-year anniversary actually, and they're giving away a whole bunch of stuff. So.
One of the chaps that's on my podcast, Hanayama, who joins me on my anime streams, he's desperate for me to play Warframe. I've been resisting for the last year.
It is really smooth though. The actual it is a smooth experience. It's made well, but the controls were throwing me, man.
Do you know the controls I really struggle with is Monster Hunter, because it's just not built for a freaking keyboard and mouse, and I'm too domesticated for console.
I also
controls.
I do controller with that game. I just
If,
had to
if
do it.
either of you
I still
played
do.
Warframe, I would so gladly join you. I'd give you each a prime. I'd give you each a prime. Be like, hey, welcome to the party.
That means nothing. What is a prime? I don't
Yeah.
The
remember.
prime is an
Right.
updated Warframe with better stats.
Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And looks
I was
pretty.
about
Boss
to
mode.
say. I was about
it looks
to
prettier.
say. You're not talking about Optimus Prime, are you?
With a drink, maybe?
Huh?
Yes.
The prime drink.
A prime drink.
And
It's
they
a
got
drink.
bling. And they got bling and bling weapons, prime weapons that do a lot better.
That was Jake
Mm.
Paul again, wasn't it? With the prime drink. Was that his baby?
Is
It
it?
was one of.
Is that
was it
why it was so
Logan
freaking popular?
Yeah, I'm sure it was Jake Paul's prime, and it
That
just,
explains
yeah.
why teenagers always want it.
Yeah.
Because I would
But-
actually go to like this liquor store, but they had prime drink, and these moms would be coming in looking for it for the kids. I'm like, what's the deal? Like, this is a liquor store, but they're like, yeah, but we got it. They're like, this is super popular.
Yeah. Jake
yeah.
Paul,
Logan
his
Paul,
brother,
Logan Paul,
and
and
KSI.
yeah, KSI, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you give your consumers crap, you're going to get closings.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the companies I listed weren't even just a smidget of how many have closed so far.
Do you
And the
guys
amount of
cry about the
layoffs-
closings and the layoffs, or you're like, yay?
There's been a couple. I mean, Microsoft closed too, and I'm like, that's a freaking shame because
Mhm.
they were
Yeah.
actually making decent games.
But it was the
some
money,
of them,
right?
some of
Yeah.
them, I was upset about, mainly the indie ones, because especially when indie companies don't really get a chance to actually put anything out that's really, really good, especially when they're just starting
Yeah,
and already they
just
have to be shut
starting.
down. To me, that's a cry. That made me want to cry. I was like, but
Yeah, Zalotti, that's 100% correct. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
true.
looking forward to playing Ghouls in 76 and seeing a massive rebalancing failure. It's going to be a lot of fun.
But I mean, but then again, like I said, 2025 does have some promising looking games this year. We got Tides of Annihilation, Lost Soulicide, for me, Leech. Then we got the RoboCop game
Yep.
that's coming out, Unfinished Business,
I'm looking forward to that.
Terminator. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I loved the RoboCop game. The same studio did the Terminator Resistance as well, which is
Resistance
another
was really good.
excellent game.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
And
Definitely.
as far as DLC goes, Lies of P, that DLC looked
Yeah.
awesome.
I think the DLC for Lies of P is going to do really, really well because the
same here.
Lies of P was received quite well.
It was received very well. It reminded me of, I don't know why, but for some reason it reminded me of Steel Rising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Steel Rising. Steel Rising is a great game.
I'd be interested to see how bad Tales of the Shire is going to be. So the Lord of the Rings game is coming out.
Yeah,
That's the current game. It hates it. Who hates it? No.
Damn.
Mate,
That was pretty good.
it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show, but I'm going to be there for it.
But yeah, I mean, there are quite a few that look promising. I remember, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers,
Mhm.
Where the Winds Meet. I mean, for me, a lot of them are the hack and slash ones.
Oh,
the
one that I
Mafia.
think is coming out soon is that the first Berserker Kazan. That looks really
No,
good.
I played the demo for that.
How was it?
How
I haven't
was it?
checked it out.
The demo is awesome. The gameplay is really solid. So is the
Yep.
artwork.
Coming
It's really,
out
really
next week.
It's
12
really
days?
soon. Yeah, it's
27th.
really soon. Yep, the
It is
27th. Yep.
really, it's really good. I
Yeah, it
highly
looks so
recommend
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend picking it up. If you want to try out the demo to at least get a feel of the gameplay, do it.
Do you know the biggest problem I have with all of these games is that I've got such a backlog of games I want to play. I'm like, Jesus, I literally just finished Cyberpunk 2077 because I wanted to 100% it on the first go. So I'm taking my time.
Whoa, you 100%? Did you do the DLC Liberty City 2?
Yeah.
It's so good, man.
Well,
I did
Second best DLC I've ever played.
I
made a big error with sorry, Scoobs. I've made a big error with the expansion because I didn't know the game at all. I started the expansion really early, and I was really undergeared, really underleveled because I
that's
played
a high
it
level.
had your
hard.
butt whooped.
Mate, I tell you
That,
what,
that area
the
is fucked
spider
up
boss.
inside, yeah.
My good God, the spider boss took me ages to just get it right, but I was
Sometimes you just
completely
gotta leave and come
undergeared,
back later.
underleveled. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Absolutely phenomenal game. I got the
Yeah.
Pan Am
The
ending
Alters
as well.
releases sometime in 2025 also. That looks neat. That's the one where you keep cloning yourself. It's like you're in space and you're cloning yourself, but you're hard to explain. They had a demo for a while there. That one
What
looks
game
neat,
was
though.
that? Sorry,
The Alters.
The Alters. Oh,
Yeah, you're
right,
pretty much
okay.
constantly cloning yourself, but all your clones are very different.
Interesting. It's
You
like
should
that clone from which one kicked off the pronoun arguments? Oh shit! Where she was a clone of a dude, but was turned into a female.
Oh well, these are all dudes. At least you're not
Yeah.
going like female on it, as far as I've seen anyway. Anyway, it's a sci-fi game. It's got like survival, adventure, base building, all that in there. And you're like a sole survivor, so you clone yourself to like create your community.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty cool.
Well, at
Well,
least
I
you know you
mean,
get along with everybody that's there.
Will you?
absolutely not. I have the exact opposite opinion. If I had to argue with myself literally as much as I do figuratively, we wouldn't get shit done.
All of a sudden, a picture of I forget which Pirates of the Caribbean movie this was. They went to the underworld to find Captain Jack Sparrow, and he's on a ship full of nothing but him.
That was the
Yeah,
third one,
yeah.
wasn't it?
That's the third
Yeah,
one, wasn't it?
That's the third one.
Yeah.
and they're both and there's these two Jack Sparrows. They're staring at a peanut. They're about to fight over it. Both of them are shot. One Jack Sparrow walks by, picks up the peanut, goes, "My peanut," just walks off with it. That's what you're making me think of.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that, but like you're all very different. Like an engineer type, a doctor type, things like that of you. It's a neat premise. It looks like it could be good. I think there are little ways to go. There is a demo though. I got to check out the demo. I didn't realize there's a demo dropped.
You have to let me know the name of it.
The Alters.
Yeah,
Like
the
Alters.
Alters.
Yeah.
The Alters.
Yep.
Yeah, I never got a chance to do Yasuke Simulator. I was too afraid.
Afraid?
Yeah. So basically, what happened was, I have Persona 5 on Persona 5 Strikers on my laptop, and the type of laptop that I use, it's a basic one. It's an Acer. It's meant for work. I logged into my Steam account one day. I was really bored. I wanted to play something. And right in the middle of the game, my screen went blue.
Oof.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, shit. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I do not have the money for another laptop. And I restarted my computer and everything was fine again. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Driver issue.
I was like, yeah, shut down. No, we'll just, next time we use Steam, we'll do it at my brother's house when I'm babysitting my nieces.
I get you. Yeah, you don't want to run anything on that thing. You know, take chances.
Yeah. I told myself, I told Cassie, I was like, I think I'm just gonna wait till I get a gaming laptop or save up for about a good 2 years to get a gaming PC.
Mhm.
In the meantime, when I use Steam, I'll use it at my brother's because I do watch my nieces quite a bit, and I adore it. And when they go to bed, Aunt Joy gets very. That's what they call me, Joy. Even though that's not even my real name.
Alas, I must start preparations for my own program. So this has been fun. I do apologize that I had to disappear for a little bit, but nature calls. We really can't help that. Yeah.
Let us know.
Now for the minute-by-minute replay. Back to you, John. I will be having a show later. Allow me to obtain a link and noise warning, as it will be an Alistor promotion in just a few minutes. So, un momento. Por favor.
Do give Stark of Iron
Mhm.
subscription, like on his videos and stuff. Check him out.
Yep.
Got some good stuff.
Alrighty, let's do this here. Yes, we will be discussing a little bit more of pop culture abroad, including some gaming news in just a tick. Why am I posting it through the duck? I got the chat bumped out right here. Alrighty. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. And if you would like to swing by, that's what we're going to be doing. So now we got to do all these buttons. All these buttons and dials and whatchamajiggers. I guess that's why, I do this thing kind of well. But without further ado.
Testing. 1, 2. In just a few minutes at approximately 6:30 Eastern Standard, 5:30 Central, we will be joining ourselves with a pop culture budgeted crew of 4 and a special guest of Jedi Master 2022. We're going to be discussing the fog of war that happens to be for Captain America 4's somehow prestigious position. We will also be discussing a little bit of what Zach Wilde thinks about guitar riffs. Magic the Gathering and SpongeBob, are you kidding me? My goodness. All of this and more is coming up at the Starcast at approximately 6:30, ladies and gentlemen. So by all means, if you are not subscribed, feel free to come say hi, leave a like, and of course, support the channel. We hope that we will provide lots of laughs and entertainment for you proviso in just a few minutes. This advertisement was brought to you by the fine folks at Great Tortoise Cigarettes, the Nuka-Cola Corporation, and Iodine Toothpaste. Because if you're going to ruin your smile with the first 2 products, the least you can do is go ham and ruin that smile completely with a tube of unmitigated bleach and fluoride. Thank you, Scooby Pup, for allowing us this wonderful conversation. You have the steering of the ship for the rest, my dear. Thank you and good night.
See it, Tony.
Oh, yes. And again, the link is in the thingamadooter proviso. So if you guys are free after this chat, come say hi. Give me a Scooby raid. And be sure to check out more of Scooby's gameplay videos. They make great background radio. So, yeah. All right. Toodaloo!
Good
See you
show.
later, Tony. You take care, bro.
You know it.
Catch you later. All right, now that he's gone, we can talk about him. No.
We can talk about. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, it's sad to see so many game companies just poof disappear. You know, some of them too soon. Some of them it's about time. But
Yep. Will
And-
Ubisoft sell, or will they sell IPs, or what will they do?
I am worried about Rocksteady though.
Rocksteady? I'm surprised they're still going. I'm really
Well,
surprised.
they're making another. They're making another Batman game though, which is
I know.
which is why I'm a bit worried. Like how. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off, in my opinion. Especially
No way.
not after us. I don't think anybody's going to buy it.
Mm-mm. Nope. That thing's dead in the water, man. It'll
Yeah.
do better than Suicide Squad, but by how much? That was such a huge failure. And it was clear that the developers working there don't know what they're doing. When you actually looked at like Suicide Squad, the gameplay, it's not even just the story and the narration and all that was bad. The gameplay was just horrible. And their live service, we were talking about this earlier, there's no reason to have it on that game at all. And you had to pay for that game, and it was live service. Like, that is a horrible mix.
Yeah, and then of course, things that should go in time being is going to be EA. They're going to be letting go of 17 IPs that they have. They're going to be cleaning house a bit.
So they're getting rid of IPs?
They're shutting some of them down. Mainly
They're shutting down
the
servers.
yeah, mainly the sports ones, mainly the sport games.
I mean, the thing is, the sports ones is kind of understandable because
They're crap.
when-
They've
when-
always been crap.
yeah, I mean, they've always been the same. I mean, how many times can you iterate the same bloody game and keep it going? I mean,
There was
this
this one time, I swear to God, and I'm glad they're shutting down some of the servers for some of these, especially for their football ones, because their football ones are always glitched, like no tomorrow. And there was this one time I was watching some gameplay of it, and the person's running down the field, and all of a sudden a house appears on the field.
A
And I was
house?
like, a house appeared on the field. I'm like, what the fuck?
Someone hacked that in. How's that happen?
I have no idea. I was like, wait a minute, what? And this house just glitched onto the field and then poof, disappeared. I was
what
like,
the hell?
what the hell?
That I have not seen. That's quite... How's that happen?
I don't know how it happens, but it did. I think it was on
you
Angry
can
Joe.
go into Grand Theft Auto Online, and when people get a hold of one of those servers,
Yeah.
the things that they can turn those servers into is insane. Like, it is crazy. They will just start dropping UFOs in there. So I wonder if it was that situation, if they were dealing with someone who had a hold of it and they were like dropping in just pieces that were somewhere in the code, like a house in the background somewhere that's in the code, and they're like, boop, right in the field. Something like that was happening. That's crazy.
Battlefield one time, they had, I think it was the most recent Battlefield. They had, you could call in tanks or something like that. And people were calling them in left and right.
Raining the
PvP.
sky with tanks.
Raining the sky, and they were like just like
They were hacking.
raining, falling nonstop. And people didn't like it, so the lobbies were a living nightmare.
This was one of the things back in Warzone, in the first Warzone, where you could call care packages, and there was a glitch where you could just keep calling them, and it was just like the sky was filled for like a month. They didn't fix it for like a month, and there was just like care packages everywhere. And every game you went, someone was doing it, and the game was just broken. But it sounds like that situation.
Yeah, I saw the glitch on. I just remember where I saw it. I saw the glitch on Angry Joe. He was reviewing one of the football games from EA.
Mm-hmm.
And he used it as one of the examples of all of the football games that have had all the glitches that all the football games have had as time had gone by.
Yeah.
And that was one of the glitches. But that's another thing that'll cause a company to go down the drain and close its doors is when you have things like glitches and bad writings that'll cause the story to go in a bad direction.
Has
And they
any
don't
of you
fix-
ever seen like the campaign for Madden?
Yeah.
There's a campaign where you have like a superstar.
Oh, wow.
Really?
A friend of mine gifted me the game because he just wanted me to join him.
Did you stop friending
I'm
him
like,
after?
Let me try this superstar thing and look at it. I was absolutely shocked how bad it was. So bad. And like the creative character is so lacking. Like your person is just like flat face, looks normal, looks like a really old, like a PS2 creature thing, whatever they put in there. And like I couldn't believe that I'm looking at this and like 2022 that this is what they're giving us. And then on top of that, the actual, like the talking and all that stuff was awful. A lot of it, they wouldn't even voice act. You just have to read what they're saying.
You just have to read it.
You'd have to read it. But then, like, if they did voice it, they'd talk, and then they would just stare at each other for a while, and you'd stare at each other, and then it would go to the next thing. I was like, wow, this is just a
That's
mess.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
when you can count how many polygons in their face on one hand. That's when you know it's bad.
It was like that. And the thing is the campaign, you know, you're a superstar, and it's like, you know, rookie to retirement. Well, even though that was that, really after your rookie year, the story was done. There was nothing else. There was nothing else that happened. I was like, it was just the normal shit. You just like it because you had a phone with your text on it, and you just text your manager like, "Oh, I want this sponsorship. Yes, no." That was it. I was like, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, another thing like glitches, bad updates, things like that. Those just kill the immersion. They really do, and that's a thing that can kill your studio as well. If you can't make a good game that has great immersion, that has anything like I said, we're easy to please, easy to piss off.
Well, look at how many people deserted Helldivers 2 after Sony put its boot into the account settings, and they still haven't rectified that whole shitfest.
Yeah, they haven't gotten people back, but at least they didn't do it. They
I'll never go back playing Helldivers 2. I'll never play it again.
I never played it.
Just because they did it?
Yeah.
You know, its average has gone back up. They're talking,
Yeah.
we're looking at 51K.
We were playing it daily.
Yeah, I know for
so
Sony. I know for Sony, they're also bringing over Gears of War, or as I like to call it, Queers of War. But that's just
Queers of
me.
War.
That's just me.
But Gears of War, looking at Space Marines 2, there's so many parallels between the gameplay styles through both of those games.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure. It's like playing. Yeah, you definitely feel like you're in Gears, at times.
Yeah, like for example, Sony, Destiny. I'm surprised Bungie's still around. I really am.
I just think people blindly play that game.
Bungie has fucked up so many times. They've done so many layoffs. Some of their DLCs have just been absolutely horrible. Some of the directions they've gone have been so bad that even Sony threatened them to say, "Hey, if you don't fix this shit, we're going to come in and clean house and do it for you."
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I was like, you know what? I'd welcome it. Because I was so pissed off. Like, the guy that everybody loved, Deej, from Destiny 1 and the beginning of Destiny 2, everybody loved him. He jumped ship the moment problems were starting to appear. He was smart. He knew to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, he did bounce.
He bounced, and the moment he did that,
you can see the cascade of failures at that point.
It is interesting though. The game's still pulling numbers. I mean, we're talking like 52,000 like in the last 24 hours. When I guess February 4th, that season 26. Season 26.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay, launched, and that was 77,000 people on Steam alone played. So it is still pulling people. People play it.
Yeah.
I think it's FOMO that does it, right? Why do people keep doing it? It's FOMO.
It's because of what they've always done. It's me playing World of Warcraft still to this day, 24 years after I started playing it. And I'm still playing it.
I still play it, but I still play Destiny, but that's mainly because I love my hunter. I'm sorry, I'm a hunter main, and every once in a while, I just gotta go back to my hunter, show her some love. Bungie, they forever pissed me off when they killed off Cade 6.
Yeah.
When they did that, I was like, no. You made a very angry person here. You killed off the best character. You killed off Nathan Fillion. You can't do that. Kill off someone else, anyone else, but don't kill off Nathan Fillion. And but nope. They pissed off all the gamers.
Yeah, and they take pride in it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It is.
They've got faces of glee when they're doing it. It's like, oh yeah, this will drum up some interest.
Activision, Blizzard,
Mm.
Bungie, 343. Yeah, they just love to piss people off.
Yeah.
Especially Ubisoft. I'm at this point in time, I'm hoping Ubisoft has to close more doors. I really do. Because Ubisoft is just going down the shithole so fast. And I cannot wait to see the difference in numbers between Shadows and Yasuke Simulator. I really can't.
Mate,
That's gonna be fun.
It's going to be such an exciting few days. It really is.
I know all the streamers are going to cover the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I know. Yeah, you guys, Hypno, all of y'all. I
Yeah.
know you're going to cover the numbers.
Yeah, everyone's
And
gonna be
I
in.
just can't wait to see it.
I mean, I don't know if Yasuke Simulator will hit the numbers that that Shadows will hit. It'll be interesting to see how many people really know about Yasuke Simulator, but I know it's doing well. The wish list, they had like what 40,000 people on a wish list or something, right? Something like that.
I think that this is going to be a surprise to it. Well, it's not going to be a surprise to everybody, but certainly it's going to it's going to pull some decent numbers.
Yeah, almost
think,
40,000 on a wish list. Yeah, holy crap.
I think Assassin's Creed will definitely get some sales because you have the loyal customers to the IP, the people who will buy any Assassin's Creed game just because they're Assassin's Creed nut.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have some streamers out there who are willing to buy the game so they can stream it and say, hey, look at how bad it is instead of, just
That's
waiting.
for sure happening.
That's going to be me.
Kada. That's you.
Yeah.
You too, Tombi.
Yeah.
Yep, Kada. I know he's doing it. I mean, that's the game that put him in the light with his rant on X. So he's 100%. He's doing like a 24-hour stream.
And then you're going to have some naturally some people, they're not going to know any better and buy it as a gift for a kid or whatever.
People did that with Dragon Age Veilguard. They just don't know anything. Buy it for someone for Christmas, and they're looking at the game like, stupid ass game. Like, I already know this game sucks.
Yeah. So and in Japan, it's just not going to sell there though. It's not going to fly in Japan.
Did you see the pre-order numbers on Amazon of Shadows? So like hard copies, you can see it. So in the last month, and this was like as of a few days ago, so I don't know if it's more or less now, but it was 600 in Japan. That's for Japan. So like the Japanese version of Amazon at 600. So then a quick peek at Monster Hunter, 80,000. So that's what we're looking at in Japan, anyway.
That's
the PlayStation version. PlayStation's big in Japan, so if they're going to buy it on anything, that's what they're buying it on. So it's not looking too hot for them.
Yeah, no, it's not. And the Japanese government as a whole, as it is, they're really pissed about it, and Ubisoft is really asking for it big time.
They don't seem
and then
too
of course we have
it just so weird.
And then of course we have Tencent coming in, thinking about. We were also talking about this managing Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Tombi, you sent me the link. I don't know how to put it up in the thing, so I don't know how to share a screen for it.
2 seconds. Let me see if I can do it for you. I'll just. Oh, mind you saying that, I don't think you want that one. It looks like it's behind a paywall anyway. So the link I sent through was essentially Assassin's Creed creator Ubisoft said to seek gaming backers. Tencent among firms invited to bid for a stake in the new entity. Unit to hold some core Ubisoft IP, including Assassin's Creed, but ultimately they're putting it out to pasture. They know it's going to hurt them financially. They're trying to spread it across.
Well, definitely. I mean, they also isn't Ubisoft also have a lawsuit going on against them right now that is not related? Yeah, that's not related to Assassin's Creed.
Which one is that one?
let's see, the last time.
Did hear that. I just don't remember what it was for.
The last lawsuit that I heard about has to do with the way they treated their employees.
Okay.
I think it had to do sexual harassment or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, is that going on too? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
It
know
was-
they
it was
had
an-
an issue with the crew, like the way they shut that down. That was a few months ago. I don't know if that's still ongoing.
I
It
didn't
was
know
a,
they
it was a similar situation to Activision Blizzard, where there was some naughty business going on. So they're going through the same thing.
Yeah, I think Hypno did an episode of it, and the list of things that he was going through, I was having trouble modding because I was like, what? I had to like stop typing and be like, what? I'm sorry. Am I hearing right about some of this stuff? So I know they have a wild, crazy lawsuit going on right now. But yeah, they're in deep trouble right now.
Mm.
But
So I've shared a screen at the bottom, which you should be able to just hover over and add to scene.
okay.
So this was another view of that same.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, it's all good. There we go.
There we go.
So Assassin's Creed creator Ubisoft said to be seeking gaming backers. Obviously, the massive decline in Ubisoft stock, which is glorious to behold. So Ubisoft Entertainment is looking to bring investors to a new entity that will include some of its core video gaming intellectual property, including Assassin's Creed, according to people familiar with the situation. The company is considering selling a minority stake in the venture and has contacted potential bidders, including current shareholder Tencent and funds globally in France, where Ubisoft is based. Ubisoft has asked for preliminary bids to be made as soon as this month. I wonder why that is. Wonder why
Gee,
that
I
is.
wonder why you're right. It's
Yep.
I don't know. It could be Assassin's Creed.
Yep. If they wanted to get ahead of the whole issue Assassin's Creed is going to bring, they should have done this time last year. It's too little, too late. Assassin's Creed is definitely going to come and bite them in the ass, and people will be daft if they supported this. In my view.
Let's see. It also says Ubisoft may seek a valuation for the yet to be formed IP unit
Mm-hmm.
that's higher than the size of the main companies.
Yep.
I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, so they're thinking that they can split out specific IPs into entities in their own right,
Mhm.
and that in that specific entity having an approximate value. The only problem is that gradually, as time's gone on, Assassin's Creed games have got worse and worse. And if this goes the way we're expecting it to do, it's going to taint every single other Assassin's Creed game that's ever come out. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve with this, whether or not they're trying to protect one company versus the actual IP itself or any potential damage. But if I was a businessman right now, which I'm not a freaking businessman. But if I was a businessman, I would say, let's speak to all of these potential bidders and say, don't invest in any of it. Watch Ubisoft fall, watch them crumble. Then when they go into administration, then go into just buy them outright in completion and just take the whole lot.
But, there is one thing I have to say that a lot of people have pointed this out about the Assassin's Creed series right now, is every Assassin's Creed game that has come out has been correct in the stance of time, place, and the person. You get to the Japan, in all the Assassin's Creed games, the characters are supposed to look in the area that they're from. And they specialize in that area. I'm not very good at wording things.
Yeah.
So. But, and then you get to Japan. So you would think that they would do the same thing and put a Japanese man in there. But no, put in a black guy.
Yeah, I'm looking for a tweet I did when all of this was kicking off. I did a tweet where I took every single Assassin's Creed game from start all the way through to finish, location of essentially the hero versus the country of origin and things like that.
And they always matched with the characters
There was
that are
there was
in
a couple. There was a couple where the hero or the protagonist was from somewhere else, but it fit the narrative.
Yes.
For example, the Caribbean, where you've got pirates coming in. The person wasn't natively from the Caribbean. But like you say, almost every single one, if it's a game set in Italy, you've got an Italian protagonist. And it's rung true throughout all of them. I'm trying to find it because I'll put quite a bit of detail on it.
Yeah, and then you get Shadows, and you got a black guy who doesn't even act like an assassin at all, period. And then you have the Kunoichi, who back then, who was, okay, yeah, they got that part right. They got a female ninja. However, back then, they weren't even they didn't act the way they have her acting. The Kunoichi were more kind of like spies, assassins.
Yep.
You would see them dress up as, you would find them more as geishas and things like that, just trying to get the information and whatnot. They had their own ways of doing things. They didn't do the kind of stuff that you would see in the video game. So it's kind of like, okay, so you have everything mixed up with the exception of a Kunoichi actually existing. She's just not doing things the right way that they usually do, that they've been known to do in history. So they got that part screwed up. So I think the entire game in and of itself is just, they don't have a damn thing right.
The entire game is pretty much just
Shit.
Asia, right? It painted as Japan. They just take Asian things, put it in the game, and say it's
just
Japanese.
It's China, and they say, hey, this is China, but it's Japan.
Yeah. They have Chinese imagery all through the game.
There's so many problems throughout all of it. I mean, the one-legged Tory was one of the biggest faux pas I've ever seen.
That is
And then-
something.
Oh, and then of course the destruction of the
temples and things.
yeah, like that. Oh my God, that.
I don't have a big issue with that if everything's destructible, and it is. And you see
If
that in other
everything's
things.
destructible, I've got no problem with the ability to destroy a religious place as long as there is consequence, whether it's reputation or something within the game.
Or they come at you
Kind
or
of like
fight you or
persuade you
something.
not to do it, even though you can.
Right.
It's gonna be to your detriment. It's like most of these things. There should be a consequence to any action you take in a game.
I feel like
You
if
have
that's
the
in most games, it would be not a big deal. But with
Yeah.
this one, it is because it's appealing the onion situation with them, where it's just another thing and another thing and another thing and another. And it's just like, wow, like, and then you just start nitpicking at it because it's like, holy shit, you're doing this and this too. Even though some of it might be normal on its own, but it's just like you really just didn't care. Like you just were like, just regurgitating Japanese shit. And that's not
Mhm.
even based on history when you're telling us that it's your love letter to Japan, which is just nonsense.
If this
And
is their love
that's why it
letter to
becomes a big deal.
Japan, if this is their love letter to Japan, they must really hate Japan.
I'm telling you, they just did it
Yeah.
because people asked for a one set in Japan. They're like, fine, we'll do it. And they're like, they didn't want to because they kept avoiding it. People have been asking for a Japanese setting for a long time in Assassin's Creed, and they have been reluctant. And maybe for a reason, maybe because there's so much blowback. But if they didn't paint it the way they did it, and then of course the Yasuke thing, like you're just so stupid. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know why you did this. There was no reason to do that. You know why. And for people to point it out, they're the bad guys. Nope, it was you. You know why you did it.
Yes.
and then they throw fuel to the fire and say, "Oh, but you don't have to play as him. You can play as someone else."
Oh, why
Yeah,
is that?
I know.
Why'd you edit that out, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
Why'd you change
So-
that? Huh? Because it was like you had to be him or her for several missions, but they've scaled it. So again, Tommy,
Yeah.
you might see the original where they make you be him more too, when you don't update. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But as much as we could continue, keep on going,
Mhm.
we can continue forever. It is time to call it.
All right.
So, guys, Tombi, what you got going?
So in approximately 15 minutes, I'm going to be doing a anime watch party of Solo Leveling Season 2, episode number 11, I think we're on, which should be the latest one. We're coming up to the finals of the series, or certainly of the season, so that's going to be exciting stuff. We got Sakamoto Days just after that. Tomorrow, going to be doing some Sunday Spotlight, looking at small creators and streamers, and probably doing a video guide on some of the tools that I use for my streaming. On top of that, later on in the afternoon, some Final Fantasy 14 with Mirden, Smoother DJ, and a few others. We're slowly growing the player base with that one, with various other streamers that we're picking up on the way. Into next week, Monday is always the day off. That's my long form video day where I'm making video guides, which are going down really, really well. So check out any of the ones previously. They're all designed to help small streamers or creators get into the space, whether it's setting up your applications, creating your overlays, or any of that good stuff. I make it nice and easy and very accessible to everybody, using nothing but free tools. Don't want people paying for anything of this because it's barrier for entry. And apart from that, 2 T's in the podcast next week, then Humday Chinwag. It's been an absolute pleasure, Scooby, to jump on the panel today. So thank you very much for the invite. And as always,
Coming in.
an absolute pleasure, and I'll definitely gonna grab you to come across onto my podcast and JayViper in the flesh. Lovely to meet you finally. And apart from being just a
Great meeting you.
voice in the chat,
Guys, and as I tell all my guests, don't be surprised if I ever invite you again, because I will. Mandatory,
I'll hold you to it.
mandatory comebacks are a thing for SCOOBYPUP'S podcast. Jay, you're up.
So for me, working on a video right now, working on a script. It's going to be a little different than the other regular covering one. It's a felting. I'm going to be felting some people that are really pissing me off. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone should definitely check out the channel. Make sure you're following it for that one, because that one's coming. But I'm putting a lot of work into it. It's not going to be like tomorrow or anything. It's coming, but it's going to be good. Outside of that, be doing some regular videos as well. And of course, on Thursdays is the Viper Bite. And if I'm pretty much on Toasties like once a week as well. You can catch me there. And she's getting stalked by Mercante and all that stuff. That's interesting. It's been an interesting situation over there as well. And of course, catch me in like Hypnos and Smash's chats or whatever if you want to catch me there. And on X, I am a must follow. It's JayViper TV on X. You definitely want to, because well, I do things over there. Good time. Have a good time on X.
As for me, Monday through Friday, I do my SCOOBYPUP'S Barcade, which is when I do my gameplay, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. On top of that, next Saturday, as always, SCOOBYPUP'S podcast, 5 p.m. Eastern. Guest unknown. So hope to see you all there. Will I do an impromptu SCOOBYPUP Barcade video? You never know. If so, it'll be high on life. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it off and maybe get one onto you. I am working on my recorded videos, which is going to be SCOOBYPUP'S Rough Views, where I'm going to be reviewing games and movies and stuff like that. As soon as I get that started, I'm going to either do Deadpool first or High on Life. It's going to be one of the two. Otherwise, that's pretty much it that I've got for me. As far as everybody in the chat, thank you for coming in. Glad to see you all here. Try to follow these guys if you can. I'd love it if you did. Like them, subscribe to them. And if you can't see the links over here, then guess what? I'll post them up on Twitter and I'll post them up here on YouTube like I always do. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. And
Thanks for having me.
No, pleasure.
And let's hope to do it again.
Absolutely.
100%. Cheers.